Good morning, and welcome back to Daily Dhamma, a letter to our children. Today is April 16th, and our reading is WEIRD. Behavioral scientists routinely publish broad claims about human psychology and behavior in the world's top journals, based on samples drawn entirely from Western, educated, industrialized, rich, and democratic WEIRD societies. Researchers, often implicitly, assume that either there is little variation across human populations or that these quote unquote standard subjects are as representative of the species as any other population. Are these assumptions justified? And that's from Henrich, Heine, and Norenzayan in the journal The Behavioral and Brain Sciences, and the title of the article is The Weirdest People in the World. These days, we hear a lot about diversity coming from campuses in the West and from elites around the world who were educated there. Their view is that everyone would be better off if we followed their example and got with the postmodern program. To us, that's homogenizing culture, not preserving diversity. If academics weren't so influential, the hubris would be funny. We must be humble about what we think we know. The noble ones say, not for sure. Elites around the world come from a very small number, a relative handful of educational institutions, and they've all learned the same stuff. They've all drunk the same Kool-Aid. Their beliefs, which they are very sincere about, are shared with other people who run countries in very different cultures than the cultures in which these universities are located. In fact, the universities are a different culture than the countries in which they are located. There's a big difference between elite, hoity-toity, Ivy League educated people and what the rest of the people believe. And that gulf is wide and getting wider. We're reminded of the quote from William F. Buckley that he would rather be governed by the first 1,000 names in the Boston telephone book than by the faculty of Harvard University. Boy, we agree with that. We see quite a bit of evidence for that here, too. Young people, mid-20s, finish their college education and come to teach in Japan in the Japan English teacher program, JET. When you're a jet all the way. Program, and they arrive steeped in the deep unwisdom of multiculti workshops, and boy, this is great. It's just wonderful like this. And that lasts for about an hour and a half, and the next thing they're talking about is changing the wainscot, and let's get some furniture in here. There's no place to sit. It's kind of humorous, but a lot of these people go on and work for the State Department or the foreign ministry in the countries that they came from. Many of them work for the United Nations or international non-governmental organizations that funnel money from elites in the West. And they act the same way, but when it has real consequences. So, again, not for sure. So happy trails to you until we meet again.